well, one of the newer elements of, let's go with trends and fitness things to help, or in wellness terminology, and that was the sleep supplement that's becoming really popular in America now. But in terms of keeping up to date with all of the changes, I'm using the little inverted commas action there as well within the industry, and all of the fake news, the false stories that we've already spoken about with regards to certain podcasts and stuff, with the adverts that are promoting X, Y, and Z supplements as well. Like you've seen the whole Andrew Huberman, like jaw biting thing that's going to improve the muscular structure inside your jaw. Electrolytes and hydration seems to have an as just bounced recently. The amount of new hydration electrolyte supplements that are on the market. Mushrooms, microdosing mushrooms is a new one as well that every big podcaster seems to be talking about, and nobody really knows too much about. And then of course the eating 100 eggs a day or whatever the fucking hell is the latest trend. How does somebody who's not fully clued up and has just come into the industry to try and find somebody to help them gonna get through all of the shit to find out what's beneficial and what's not?
By doing. That's literally it. I'm not a fan of the fitness industry pushing themselves as this path to get to your goal without making any mistakes. You have to make mistakes.
Yeah, I love
I
that.
let my clients make mistakes. It's an essential, integral part of the process, because that's how you learn. You don't learn just by following blindly what someone else is saying. You learn by making mistakes, and we can help you.
That'd be like a dictatorship, right? Rather than a coaching.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that is a large part of the industry, unfortunately. That is. So we allow our clients to make mistakes. We help steer them when things go wrong and see the bigger picture and keep working towards whatever they're working towards. We don't chastise them or punish them like some dickheads will do. We help them. That's why our industry exists. We're there to help. Sadly, we're not the fix for all the problems out there. And this is the problem with trying to keep on top of all these different things, all these different areas. Some of them are actually nothing to do with us. They're beyond our remit. Yeah. So if someone's being diagnosed insomnia, that's not our job to fix. We can learn some cool stuff. We can help. We can advise, but that's not our fucking job. Same with what I don't like, why this industry is going too deep into the mindset and emotionals. And hey, PT's talking about, here's how you overcome your fucking trauma. Bruv, you're a PT. You're not qualified in this. You may have experience with it, but it doesn't mean that you can now fix it for someone else. Okay, I hate to say it. Obviously, qualification is important. Experience is important. But that's not our job to fix. So we can only help with certain things. It's great learning about the things Huberman's putting out there. It's great learning about like different nutrition and supplements and therapy, cold therapy, and there's a million different things out there. But it's making things more complicated for the average person. And our job is to help the average person.
Oh, man.
Like the PT qualification doesn't mean you can work with elite athletes. It doesn't mean I could not help you get better at your marathon. I couldn't. I'm not a running coach. But I can help you get fucking strong. I can help you get lean. I can help you establish healthy habits that may lead to you running a faster marathon time. But in terms of the actual running side of it, I can't do fuck all. I know PTs less qualified than me that are putting that message out there that they can help someone do that. It's ridiculous. So we need to tone it down a little bit in our industry, without a doubt. If a general member of the general population is looking to drop a bit of weight, get healthier, establish some healthy habits, the simplest things are the ones that always work. And there's nothing new. There is nothing that is going to come out in the next 10 years that hasn't come out in the last 50 years that is going to change the game in terms of how you do something, with the exception of Ozempic and those sort of things. That's the only thing that's changed, and you shouldn't be rushing to take that unless you are morbidly obese and diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. There's no point in you fucking taking that, okay? Again, risk-reward ratio, way off.
On
So
that,
let's leave them. Oh, go on, go on.
sorry, mate. Yeah, I did. On that
Mm,
subject of Ozempic, then again, similar to my previous comment, is there has to be some kind of negative connotation or side effect to taking this drug.
mm. If you think it indiscriminately helps you to lose weight, and a percentage of that will be muscle mass and potentially weakening of tendons and ligaments, it's the same as an extremely aggressive deficit. Extremely aggressive deficit, more so than what most people would do or need to do. Think of how aggressive a stage competing bodybuilder is going to need to go to get thick skin lean, how dehydrated they'll need to be to look the best they can for their sport on stage, whilst they're also potentially feeling pretty goddamn rough whilst they're up there, right? Like that's the next level that most of the general population won't go to, and most PTs haven't been to. The next thing above that is then enforced pharmaceutical fat loss. Anyone who's ever taken some of these, I don't even know what you call them as a general thing, but something like clenbuterol, which can lead to extra fat loss because you've just raised your metabolic rate through moving more, through your anxiety being through the roof,
For
through
horses,
fidgeting for horses and shit like
yeah.
that, and asthma medicine, things like that. Anyone who's taken that, you don't feel particularly good on it because you've just pushed it to the next level that is beyond what you would consider naturally possible. So again, as soon as we're getting into those areas, now that doesn't mean that focusing on your sleep and cold plunge therapy and anything else Andrew Huberman is anywhere near that sort of level. It's not. It's all things that most people could realistically do in their life. But again, you've got to think of time, you've got to think of finances, you've got to think of what's optimal isn't always sustainable. It might help you for a short period of time, but then if you run out of the budget to keep doing that thing, then it's no longer relevant to you. If you run out of the time to keep doing that thing, if your life situation or your goals change, simple is, it's the boring thing, but simple is best. Eating the right food, calorie deficit, sleep, stress management, activity, training with weights. Those things are going to have way more powerful impact on your life than blue light blockers or a certain supplement or diving in a fucking ice bath every morning or jumping in the sea, whatever the hell, nasal breathing, fucking mouth strip, fucking vibrating dildo, whatever the fuck, right? And I'm like, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter. It's all within this, like, if you think of a pyramid, the base at the bottom is what you need. All the stuff you need to do is in that basic bottom bit. And everything else is still potentially relevant to try. But the higher you get up and the smaller those things are, that's the area where all this extra stuff is. It may help with an extra 1 to 10%, but why would you want 1 to 10% if you're not getting the 80% correct to begin with?
Yeah.
And yeah, bit of a rant that one. Fucking hell.
You know, do you know what? I think it's really valuable as well because again, it's like you say, you're stepping over the dollars to pick up a
Yeah.
nickel, or in our money, stepping over the pounds to pick
Or
up a
whatever way
penny.
around it is. Yeah.
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 Which is a really valuable way of looking at it, I think, because there's so many shiny brand new objects that are being dived into, and then when you look at our clients, ourselves, even for me at one point in my journey, it was about trying these shiny new objects, but actually what has lasted the course of time of my journey, movement, sleep, the basic supplements that I do, protein, ensuring that I'm moving, ensuring I'm getting in that sunlight, ensuring that I'm doing the journaling and all of those kind of things that stop me getting that extra stress, which will then have a knock-on effect of me doing those basic things at the bottom. It hasn't been making sure that I've taken a electrolyte tablet in the morning. It hasn't been jumping in a cold shower for those times that I've tried to include that in my routine. It hasn't been like any other number of things that I've tried to include in my routine. The things that have stuck: training with resistance, getting my cardio in every week, making sure I've got a high protein diet, making sure that I'm not eating shit and drinking shit. And those are the things that have enabled me to make those progressions that I have with my physical health. All the way back, when you go all the way back to 2015, I can confidently say that I've learned something new and been able to sustain the gains that I've made in whatever format it be: strength, fitness, weight loss, mental health as well. For now 9 years running. And that, I think that's pretty cool. But none of that has been done by, yeah, of course, there's been some therapy. Yeah, of course, I've paid for some really good coaching from some really cool people. Yeah, I've had some fucking sick people on this podcast, including yourself, mate, that have broke things down for me to then be able to almost create my own foundation. Like you speak about that pyramid that I've gone, well, what's Harry Purdy's pyramid? I need this, and this at the bottom. And then if I can get this, and this, and on top of it, cool. And then the other shit, bah, don't really matter.